Knicks family, what's popping? Hey, at least we got to see the young boys start tonight, right? Let's rock. What's up? What's going on? Michael, Alfredo, that one kid. What's popping with y'all, man? Hey, definitely a bad loss, right? As far as, scores concerned and those type of things. But hey, we got to see the young boys play a little bit. I'm satisfied with that. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Um, what can you say? If you're gonna lose, you're gonna get blown. You might as well get blown with the young boys, right? So I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with that. Now, there's some fundamental basketball things that I don't like. But, if you're gonna get washed up with the young boys. Last game, we got washed up by the Sacramento Kings. Although we made a run at it in the fourth quarter, we got washed up by the Sacramento Kings with the vets. Got washed up, but we played the young boys, so I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. So let's take might as well do a quick recap of the game. Because Damian Lillard went bananas. And, Lillard's been having a crazy past, few days, few weeks, whatever it is. And our guards, we just got ate up by Damian Lillard. Bottom line. We just got smacked by Damian Lillard. And then again, we had a nasty third quarter. And honestly, I always put the third quarter on coaches. I think that good coaches have their teams ready to come out in that third quarter. See, the first quarter, I know we're going to talk about Frank and everything, but the first quarter, so many people put the emphasis on starting the first quarter, but realistically, that first quarter, that first 5 minutes of the game, teams are really kind of filling each other out. You're trying to get you're trying to get a range of the referees, how the referees playing. How are the referees calling the game? What is the other team looking to do? What's their strategy coming into the game? So that first quarter is really a filling out process. The third quarter, now you've got an idea what the other team is trying to do a little bit. They may pull out a few surprises in that third and fourth quarter that you haven't prepared for. But you know what they want to do. You got an idea of how the referees want to call the game. Those type of things. And so then that third quarter, that's the time you're making some adjustments. You see what the team is doing in the first half. Now you're like, okay, here's what we're going to do in the second half. Here's how we're going to adjust. And you're also motivating the players in that halftime. You want to get your players ready to come out and perform. But it doesn't happen for us. Every game, that third quarter, we get smacked. And then the game gets out of control. We get smacked. And I blame it on coaching. I blame it on lack of adjustments. I blame it on lack of motivation. Because that's what it takes to come out and be able to perform in that third quarter. And mainly the adjustments. Players should kind of be motivated, self-motivated, really. But of course, players, you got to motivate them because they're human, but they should be self-motivated. But to come out in that third quarter, there's got to be some adjustments. You got to have a strategy. I blame it on coaching, assistant coaching. which is always going to lead back to the head coach. Because you got to have guys that can make some adjustments for you, give you tips and pointers, suggestions on adjustments. And I'm not seeing that happening. It's not happening for us. It's just not happening for us. So we come out every third quarter and we look bad. We get blown out the gym. And I'm not expecting us. I wasn't expecting us to go into Portland and beat them. Portland's a good team. Now 38-26, right? They're a good team. I wasn't expecting the Knicks to do that. But I was excited in the first quarter, right? We came out, went up 8-0. I'm like, okay. We came out with a lineup that's more geared towards defense. And, well, of course, we couldn't sustain it. But, we went back and forth, went down 13, came back, or down 15, came back. Went into halftime. Well, 5 point, down by 5 points. Not bad. But then, here comes the third quarter. And now it's, we see it, the players see it, the players know. You know what I'm saying? And now it's going to be a mental thing. So let's take a look at these stats of the game. But here you see it there, third quarter. We lose by 11 in the third quarter. First quarter, all right, we lose by 7. We win the second quarter. Blow the game open. We're down 5. Blow the game open in the third quarter. Now we're down 16. And then there you go. We get down the stretch of the game and we're just throwing, we're just playing in garbage time. Coaching. It's all coaching. A lot of coaching. I am excited that he put out a different lineup today. I did like that, but we'll talk about it. Okay. Looking at the matchup, obviously you see the score. They once held a 27-point lead. You're getting stomped every game. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's hard for guys to learn when you're getting stomped every game. But if you're going to get stomped every game, you might as well get stopped with the young kids, right? We were out-rebounded tonight. Portland assisted on more shots, more baskets. Portland had 19 turnovers, so we didn't capitalize on it. We had 21 assists. We had 7 steals, 7 blocks, 14 turnovers. We shot 36.8% from 3, 42.2% from the field, 66.7% from the free throw line. Portland shot 43.2% from the field, but 60% from 3. And that's because of our bad defense. Our defense is horrible. We're going to talk about defense a little bit. But it's horrible. It's terrible. We've... I was hoping that the lineup change and bringing the young guys in, he played Dotson early. I was hoping that, that was going to help us play a little bit more vigorous defense. But it didn't happen. Didn't happen. Now, Damian Lillard went nuts on us, So that's a big part of it. But we've got to do better defensively. We've got to do better defensively because we look horrible on defense. We look horrible. Looking at the box score, Tim Hardaway, he played well again. 44% from the field, 8 for 18, but he played well. He's taking shots that are within his game, and I like it. He's going to the basket more, and he's taking good shots. And if he continues to do this, we'll see him develop offensively. He's got more work to do defensively. If Hardaway wants to step it up to that next level, He's got to go ahead and put the work in and the time in to become a better defender because he has all the tools to be a very good defender. He's got a strong body. He can move his feet. He's athletic. He's got to get it in on the defensive end. Now, all of our guards got burnt tonight. Our guards got burnt tremendously. It was bad tonight, the way that our guards got burnt. We played against two of the best guards in the league. That we did, but we still got burnt. Tim Hardaway, 35 minutes, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 turnovers, 2 steals. Lance Thomas started the game. 19 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 turnovers. Of course, Lance is in there for defense. Cantor, 27 minutes, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Right now, and that's Cantor is our best player, without a doubt. There's no question in my mind that he's our best player. Offensively, he's our best player. He just doesn't get as many minutes as Tim Hardaway. If he got the same amount of minutes as Tim Hardaway, he'd average 20 a game, more than 20 a game easy. But he's by far our best player on the floor, in my opinion. Emmanuel Mudiay stunk it up. 25 minutes, 1 for 9 from the field, 4 assists, 6 turnovers. He stunk up the floor tonight, big time. Frank, 28 minutes, 6 points, 2 for 7 from the field, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers, no steals. Frank's been managing his turnovers lately. Part of it is because he's playing off the ball so much. But he's been managing, he's been taking care of the ball better. I really would like to see him, give him a chance to play full-time point guard if he, while starting. That's what I want to see. People can argue with me all day, say he's better off the ball. I don't agree. Now, here in the box score has Frank Ntilikina at point guard, but he didn't play point. It was Mudiay as the primary ball handler, while Frank was primarily off the ball. But, people can say to me, he's better off the ball. I don't agree, not one bit. I just don't agree. You can't have a shooting guard that is reluctant to shoot. A shooting guard shoots. That's why it's called a shooting guard. You know what I mean? So you can't have a shooting guard that's reluctant to shoot, that doesn't want to shoot. That doesn't make sense. A shooting guard that wants to get everyone else involved first. He's a point guard. Damian Dotson played 18 minutes, 2 points, 1 for 2 from the field. He's another one that has to get more aggressive, looking to get his shot. He's got to be more aggressive, looking to get his shot because he's athletic. He can get to the basket. And he can shoot the ball. He's just not shooting with confidence right now. I think when that time comes, he'll shoot with more confidence, I hope. And maybe he's not shooting with confidence because, maybe he's afraid. Maybe he's afraid that the staff doesn't quite believe in him yet. So he's not playing the way he can play, but, he's got to, he needs to be a little bit more confident out there on the floor. Kylo Quinn, 17 points, 17 rebounds. 17 minutes, 2 points, 6 rebounds. Beasley, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Played better off the bench than he's played lately. And maybe that's what he needs to continue to do. Trey Burke, not much from Trey Burke tonight. He did have 7 assists, though. Not much as far as scoring, but he had 7 assists. Still, he shot the ball 12 times. I think, and then you got Troy Williams. Troy Williams played well. Again, 8 points, 3 rebounds. He plays within himself. That's what I like about Troy Williams. He plays within himself. He doesn't try to do anything that is not within his game. He stays within his game. And I respect that. Like I tell my players, be a superstar within your role. Be a star in your role. Whatever your role is, you be a star in that. You do that to the best of your ability. That's what I like about Troy. He does what he does. Luke Cornett, Isaiah Hicks, 3 minutes apiece. 3 points for Luke Cornett, 1 rebound. I still want to see more playing time from some of these young guys. Luke, I want to see him play a little bit more. Isaiah Hicks, I don't think he has a future with the team. That's just my opinion. I really don't care to see too much more of him. So, if they want to play him, cool. But I don't care to see much more of him. So there we go. That's the game for us, and that'll be the game for us for the rest of the season. But let's talk about Frank. Got his first career start today. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Of course, Courtney Lee was out for personal reasons. But, Frank started. And I know a lot of people, I see, I'm looking at the time, I'm looking at the chat a little bit, and I see a lot of people talking about, Frank, of course, you got the obligatory group that's going to say that Frank sucks and all this kind of stuff. People want him to be a superstar right off the bat, whatever, or an all-star or whatever you think. But, I'm not discouraged by what Frank did tonight as a starter. He still didn't get 30 minutes, 28 minutes. But, he got 6 points. He was 2 for 7 from the field. Listen, Frank's not going to shoot a ton of shots. That's not his style of play. I don't know why people can't get that through their head. Why people can't understand that that's not his game. It's like everyone thinks there's one style of point guard nowadays, and that you have to be a scoring point guard. I disagree with you. You're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I seen someone say a point guard dribbles. Wow. So this is a shooting guard. So this is a small forward. Everybody in the NBA dribbles. So many people have the wrong idea of what a point guard is nowadays. It's crazy. You've got to understand the responsibilities of a point guard. You know what I'm saying? The point guard has so many responsibilities, it's ridiculous. And you guys don't know. I remember my high school coach. One of the best lessons I've ever had as a point guard. We were in a playoff game, and we were down 10 points at half or something like that. And the coach came in, he looked at me, he said, I blame you. I blame you. And I looked at him like, why? He said, because you're the leader on the floor. You know what I want to be done, and you let these guys do this, and this. You didn't step up and lead the team. Right? You didn't step up and lead the team. Because that was my role as a point guard. That was my role. My role wasn't to shoot. My role was to lead. And that's a big responsibility. My role was to take the coach's vision of how we want to play and execute it. That's my role. Well, that was my role. So I came out in the second half. I did what the coach needed to be done. But it just so happened I needed to score that game in order to keep us in it because nobody else was able to. So I had to go out and drop 14, 15 points in the second half. But that wasn't my primary role on the team. I just needed to lead, and being a leader, that was my role at that point. And we came back. We took a lead. We ended up losing the game in a close game. But the coach spoke to me afterwards. He said, that's how I needed you to step up. I needed you to step up and take control of the team, because not only did I score, but after I began to score, then I was able to get other people involved. Right? I took control, told people where to be. Let people know when they weren't where they needed to be. That's what happens. Right? That's what a point guard does. So a point guard is more than just a ball handler. A point guard is more than just a guy that brings the ball up and starts to play. You know? But everybody wants Frank to score. That's what everybody wants. They want Frank can come out and get 10 assists and 1 point, and people will say he sucks. You know what I'm saying? People say he sucks. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? You know, everyone looks at and sees everybody with these crazy handles. You see Kyrie, Steph Curry. They got these crazy ball handle skills and everything. And you think that's what it is to be a point guard. That's not what it is to be a point guard. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it is. You know, and so some people might say, well, Frank's not a leader yet. I think he is. He may not be the main leader, right? He may not be, but I've seen him on the floor giving instructions to certain players, telling people where to go, who to pass the ball to. I seen it in the last game. And as Cantor had a mismatch. I forgot who it was, but he had whoever on a mismatch in the post. And he passed the ball to, maybe I forgot whoever it was on the wing. Maybe it was Hardaway. And pointed to Cantor, told him to pass the ball to Cantor in the post. Right? They got the ball to Cantor in the post. That's what a point guard does. Point guard does things like that on the floor. I've seen him bark out instructions to Kylo Quinn where to be defensively. You know, I don't know. I think a lot of people have the wrong idea of what a point guard is today. And I think Frank represents that old school style point guard, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. I like the fact that Frank started. He probably won't start the next game if Courtney Lee is back. But that's cool. That's okay. You know, he got one start. I don't know what the big problem was from the beginning. You know, people are always not ready for this, not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I think that I think that he could have handled it a while ago. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people can say excuses. I'm not making any excuses for Frank. I'm telling you what a point guard is. I don't know if you ever played basketball. You know what I'm saying? Or if you ever played point guard. And maybe you did. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he did. I don't know. But if you actually played point guard, seriously played point guard, I'm not talking about running a pickup game in a rec. I'm talking about seriously played point guard, you would understand what a point guard really does. You know? Now, I mean, so you said Clyde keeps saying he needs to keep his dribble. That's okay. You know, people act like a player can't develop. A player can't learn certain things, that a player has to come into the league a full-time, you know, at the peak of his level of play. Come on, man. Guys are going to learn. He's going to learn. Yeah, Jonathan. Yeah, Frank plays the game the right way. I agree with you 100%. He plays the game the right way. Now, now, what I will say is sometimes you got to take chances. He plays the game the right way, but sometimes he needs to take a few chances. He doesn't take chances right now. He's strictly by the book without taking chances. You know what I'm saying? He needs to take a few more chances. He has the ability. He needs to look to play downhill. You know, Clyde brought it up tonight. He was on a fast break, and you can see him. He's on the fast break, and his eyes are looking to see who he's going to pass the ball to. When all the time, the whole time, he had the lane himself, and he didn't take it. He wasn't aggressive enough to go. That's something that he has to learn, something he has to develop. That's cool. I'm all right with that. Let him develop. You know, let him develop. You know, people want this superstar right out the box. Doesn't happen that way. Not in today's NBA. Not when you got players coming in the league almost straight out of high school. You know, I mean, if you look at Frank, he's basically a high school player that came into the league. You know, but all these guys, even Dennis Smith Jr. is 19 years old, now 20. You know, these guys are young. You don't know what their body's going to be or do yet. It takes time. It takes time. And people have different styles of play, different types of game. And you got to take that type of game and find a way to win with it. If that player has talent, and Frank has talent. You know, Frank has talent. Donovan Mitchell, he has talent too. I'm cool. I like Donovan Mitchell. He's also a whole 2 years older than Frank. Right? He's 21 years old right now. I think he turns 22 in like September or something like that, or October, when Frank will turn 20 in July. He's a whole 2 years older than Frank. That's a lot. That's a whole lot more basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole lot more basketball. So, you know, you can compare all you want. You know, you can compare him to Donovan Mitchell. That's cool. But you also got to remember that Donovan Mitchell was a full 2 years ahead of him. You know what I mean? A full 2 years ahead of him. Has played a whole hell of a lot more basketball than him. You know, in his time in college. You know, that's a lot of time. A lot of time and a lot of basketball. And Frank hasn't played that yet. You know, Donovan Mitchell is grown into his body. You can see him. You can see it. He's grown into his body. He's been working for at least 2 years. You know, you can't say what his AAU team or high school team did as far as physically training his body. But when he got into college, you know, he's had a full 2 years of weight training, body training, personal trainers working, right? Frank's had none, zero, zilch. At least as far as Jeff Hornacek, the information that Jeff Hornacek has given us. You know what I'm saying? He's had none. He hasn't had weight training. He hasn't really worked with basketball, NBA basketball trainers. You know what I'm saying? Let's give him that time. Let's give him that time to work with trainers, to weight train. Let his body fill in a little bit. You know? You know, that's how it is. That's how it is. But, you know, you gotta have the Frank haters. That's cool. Demo B, you said if the Knicks trade Frank, they'll regret it. I believe you 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100%. I believe you 100%. So, I hope that he continues to start. I think if Courtney Lee comes back, he probably won't. But I hope he continues to start. I really want to see him start at the point guard. But if you're going to put him at shooting guard, I think you got to put him. I think if you're going to start Frank at shooting guard, so let's skip to this. Let's go over the lineup changes. Let's talk about lineup changes. If you're going to start Frank at shooting guard off the ball, then I think you got to start Trey Burke, because Moutier and Frank both have offensive deficiencies. So now you really are hurting. You're really hurting the team offensively. And it's not like Moutier is a really, really great defender to where you have a lockdown defender at the 1 and the 2. You know what I'm saying? So I think that you've got to, if you bring Trey Burke in and you have Frank off the ball, then you got a little bit of lightning and thunder. You got you got your point guard that can penetrate, that can score. Then you got Frank that can play off the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think if you're gonna start Frank at the shooting guard spot, you need to start Trey Burke. I think if you start Frank at the point guard spot and Courtney Lee is back, you can go ahead and start Courtney Lee, if that's what you're going to do. Matt, you say Trey needs to be bench scoring. I hear you. I get it. But I think if you're going to put Michael Beasley, if you're going to have Beasley coming off the bench, right? If you're going to have Beasley coming off the bench, then you still have some scoring off the bench. Then you can have Frank. You can have Trey Burke at the point guard spot, Frank at the shooting guard, Cantor at center, Lance at the power forward, and Tim Hardaway at small forward. Right? Then at least you can get some scoring from Trey Burke. You can get some scoring from Cantor, scoring from Tim Hardaway. Lance and Frank can play defense. And kind of lead that defensive punch in the starting lineup. And then coming off the bench, you got Beasley who can score. So you still got some scoring punch coming off the bench. I seen somebody ask, would I start Troy Williams? I like what he brings. He plays defense. I definitely like that. You could, if you decided that Courtney Lee was going to come on. Oh, yeah, and Courtney Lee, if he came off the bench, if you started Trey Burke and you started Frank and Courtney Lee came off the bench, that's another guy that would be able to score off the bench. So, you wouldn't need to have Trey Burke coming off the bench for scoring punch, because you'd have Beasley, you'd have Courtney Lee. Those two guys could come in and score. But as far as Troy Williams, I get, if you wanted to do something like Frank at the point guard spot, Tim Hardaway at the shooting guard, Troy Williams at the small forward, and then you have Lance at power forward and Cantor at center. That's a lineup I would try. It. It gives you a little bit of a longer lineup, so you have some more length on the floor. Then you got a long point guard at 6'5" starting. You got a 6'6" shooting guard. How tall is Troy Williams? 6'7", 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", small forward. So you got a nice long lineup there, if that's what you decided to do. I'd give that lineup a try. For sure. Give it a try. And it could be effective. It could be effective because, when you have a lot of length, man, it makes defense easier. Because even when you're moving your feet, you still got long arms that you can get in the passing lanes. Ace, you said you'd start Troy at the 3 and Hardaway at the 2. That's possible. That's possible. I seen someone say something about said something about Dotson. And do I like Dotson? I definitely like Dotson. I think that Dotson is going to. I think he'll be good. He's got to get a little bit more aggressive and look to shoot a little bit more. Dotson came from good coaching. He came from, he played all 4 years in college. You get a lot of coaching, and you learn how to take shots, when to take shots, where to take shots. It takes a while to maybe break out of that kind of a system, Same thing with Frank. When basketball is about habits, right? And when you build certain habits, it takes a while to break those habits. It takes a while to break those habits and relearn. You say Dotson needs somebody to create for him. I don't know. I think he could. I think he has the ability to create for himself if he needs to. You see him, in the fourth quarter, he took it to the basket and scored. It was against some bums, but he did it. He has some ability. He needs to do it. He doesn't do it, and just give him some time. Let's see. But he's an older rookie. So he might be a little bit more in his ways than some of the younger rookies that's in the league. But Dotson, he has some ability. He may be a spot up shooter right now, maybe, but he has some ability. Yeah, Dotson has a good mix of power and speed. He does, and he's athletic as hell. He's athletic as the guy can, jump out the building. He has some ability to create for himself. He doesn't have the mindset to do it because he's been playing in the system for a while. He's been playing in the system for a few years. So he has to change. He's got to tweak his mindset just a little bit. Demo B, you said Frank was drafted for defense. Why not focus on that against the best guards? Take his lumps and learn offense as he goes. Knicks aren't in position to win anyway. Look at his D against Harden, etc. Demo, you're right. You're exactly right with that. Frank, I don't know if he was drafted for just defense. He was drafted for his upside. But the fact that he can play defense was a plus. And they knew that. But he was drafted for his upside. I think that the Knicks really did go back and forth between Frank and Donovan Mitchell. They were very, very high on Donovan Mitchell because he played defense as well. But they liked Frank's upside. That happens a lot nowadays. They liked his upside. They liked, that he's 19 years old and his ceiling could potentially be higher. That's what people don't understand about Donovan Mitchell is that he's a little bit older. He's 21 years old. He's playing very well. Let's see how much better he gets from here. I'm not saying he won't get better, but we've got to see how much better he gets. That's the reason. That's the reason right now why so many GMs draft younger players, because they want the upside. And they want to be able to develop them. They want to develop the upside. That's the allure of getting such a young guy coming into the league. Is that, they're young, they have this talent, and then the team is able to mold them with professional trainers, with the resources that they have. Some of the guys that are older in college, they're like, well, this guy's been in college for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. They've built some habits. If we don't like what this guy does for our team, we've got to break down those habits and rebuild those and rebuild some new habits. With guys that are 18, 19 years old, they have some habits, and you may have to rebuild it, but it's not as hard. Utah was probably the perfect fit for Mitchell. Good fit, good spot for him to be in. That's cool. That's good. I'm glad for him. But that is that was the mindset going into drafting Frank. So, there it is. But, I like the lineup changes that we saw tonight, even though it may not have been on purpose. It may have been just because Courtney Lee was out. But I definitely like those lineups. I like what we saw. But I'd like to see a few more. If you're going to start Frank, you got to have Trey Burke with him. You can't start him with Moutier, because Moutier can't score either. So I want to open up the lines. Open it up. Give me a call. Let's talk a little bit. Now, me and son, you said it's a great point to where you get drafted, need the coach in the system, etc. Yeah, right. You've got to. A lot has to go into when you're drafted, for a player to have any player in the NBA, when they go to a certain team, man, things got to be right for you to excel. You're gonna have some players that are just great, and they're gonna excel anywhere. Right? That's going to happen all the time. You're going to have players that are just great. They're going to excel anywhere. Other players need to fit perfectly, have a coach that knows how to use their talents. And when you have that, then a player can excel. You know what I mean? Then a player can excel. When you have a coach that knows how to use their talents, players' talents. So I think that Utah was a good spot for him. Good spot for him. Would he have been the same player in New York? We don't know. It's possible. But I don't know I don't know. We're not organized, it doesn't seem like. I'm saying Utah is a little bit more organized. They have a better culture going on. They're a better team defensively. And he's part of the reason they're a better team defensively. But they were a better team defensively than the Knicks before he got there. So he came into a really good situation for him. What I'm saying? Marty, appreciate the super chat, brother. Shout out to Frank fans, Lily Phillips, Azorio Media, Wayne Peoples, and my long lost brother, Yusuf Muhammad. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm with you, man. You said that's why Jeff needs to go. I feel you. All right, so I got, who's this? Mr. Brunson on the line. But it's kind of hard to hear you, man, because you got a lot of things going on in the background. I can hear you, but there's a lot of sound going on in the background. A lot of. All right. Got you. I got you. But yeah, it does take a good fit for someone to excel. What I mean? It takes a good fit. Now, hopefully, the Knicks will end up being a very good fit for Frank. But I can guarantee you, if it's not, and they end up trading him, he's going to excel someplace else, and everyone is going to be hot. They're going to be mad because he will end up excelling someplace. You know what I'm saying? End up excelling. You ready? Hey, my man, you ready to go? All right. What's going on, bro? What's happening with you?
Nothing much, man. Shout out to the chat. Black is time. You already know.
For sure, man.
I just wanted to say, a lot of people everything is good. You can hear me?
Yeah, everything's good.
All right. So, I respect the chat, but a lot of these guys on the chat, I don't. They watch basketball, but they don't watch basketball. You know what I'm saying? They don't see this. You know, people got the point guard, like you said. People got the point guard all messed up now because they see players like Damian, Kyrie, John Wall, all these
Right.
scoring point guards. They get it confused, and Frank's not that type of point guard.
Right.
He's not going to be that point guard, you
Yeah.
know.
And,
And
and,
that's
and go ahead. Go ahead.
that's okay
That's okay.
because you know what, and you got to say stuff out loud to make people sound crazy. So you telling me we got a 19-year-old point guard that plays defense that wants to pass the ball first, and all you telling me is he just got to get aggressive and play more offense? Is that what you telling me?
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, any GM would take that coming out of you 10 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Especially as a rookie coming into the league, you know what I'm saying? You can develop that offense. You can develop all offense. But if someone doesn't come in, if someone doesn't have defensive instincts from the beginning, they're probably not going to have it once they get into the NBA.
exactly, because to me, like, and I hate to always bring back Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr., for example, he'll give you 30 points a game, but he'll give up 30 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd rather have a Frank who, you know what, he gave me 13 points, but damn, he made Kyrie Irving work tonight, and
Right.
Kyrie shot 7 for 25. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have that because it's just crazy because, like, you telling me all Frank got to do is get aggressive and get more offense. He gets open. If you really watch basketball, he gets open. He can do it.
Yep.
It's just he came from a style of basketball where it's selfless. It's not scoring. It's not me. It's getting your teammates open, passing to the open man.
Right.
Which should generally be basketball, but we know how that goes in America. That's not American style basketball now.
Right.
So and then and it's crazy with people, man. And I was saying this to somebody. If we're gonna give up on a 19-year-old kid already, then we have. This has been the problem with us all for the last 20 years.
Exactly.
If we're gonna give up on a 19-year-old kid that plays defense, then I don't know what to tell some of these Knicks fans that keep calling him a bum.
Right.
My thing is, can you do it?
Right.
Everybody, I'm being for real. If you're gonna keep calling somebody a bum and they can't do this and do that, can you do it? Can you go out there every night and play defense?
Right.
And like you said, it's more than running a team than scoring. It's the point guard is literally the extension of the coach.
Exactly.
So
exactly. And there's nothing wrong with these guys that are scoring point guards. That's cool. If that's the way that they play, that's the way that they play. That's the style of ball. You know what I'm saying? But they are also John Wall, Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry. Especially Steph Curry when you look at who he has on his squad. Right? The Warriors play a selfless style of basketball. If Steph Curry is not getting a shot, but Kevin Durant is lighting it up, that's what he does. He'll go 5, 6, 7 possessions without shooting the ball. He doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? The thing about these guys like Damian Lillard, John Wall, them guys, they also know how to be the leader on the floor. You know what I'm saying? They know how to do it. And they will do it. Chris Paul is the ultimate guy, of course. You know what I'm saying? That knows how to score, be a leader. He'll do whatever he needs to do on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not mad that these guys are scoring point guards. That's cool. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a player, he's not that, but he can play defense. He can get people in positions. That's what you want. That scoring part, that's easy. That'll come later. Trust me, that's easy. When a guy goes out on the playground right? Most guys go out and they work on their shot. They shoot. They work on their footwork. They work on different moves. You know what I'm saying? Most players have been working on their offense for years and years and years, and they still need to develop even when they get into the league. But they don't go out and work on defense. So there's a lot of guys in the NBA that are there because they can score, but their defense isn't that great. When you have someone that plays defense, you can't just let that go.
Exactly. You know what's crazy, man? I wanted to give out a few names.
Mm-hmm.
Magic Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Mark Jackson. All these point guards are like the top 5 in assists.
Right.
Do you know none of them averaged over 20 points in their whole career?
Mm-hmm. I know.
And I'm not saying Frank is gonna be them, but that showed you that the top 5 players never averaged in their career averaged 20 points. They might have averaged it a couple seasons,
right?
But in all general, you know, because they had so much respect. I'm telling you, it's more than just scoring, you know. And it's just like you gotta, and it takes time. And I've been telling people this for a couple of months now. I think of Giannis Antetokounmpo or Kawhi Leonard when I think of Frank.
Mm-hmm.
When Giannis came into the league, and you know how everybody loves Giannis now. He's one of the best scorers. He's going to be an MVP. He came into the league averaging 8 points.
Right.
His first year, 8 points.
Right.
So it's just Kawhi Leonard wasn't even. People didn't even think Kawhi Leonard would be a scorer in this league. You know what I'm saying? People didn't think that about Kawhi Leonard when he came in. Like, he could play defense. People saw the defense in him, but they didn't see the offense. And it's just, it takes time. And it just gets on my nerves with some of these people that keep talking about Frank. And it's like, yo.
Yeah.
Right. It's just crazy because, like, people love Giannis now, but they don't remember when he averaged 8. I do. And it's like, it takes time. And then you got to learn your game. And you got to go through it's just so much you got to do. You got to get the right coach. It's so much. And it's just like, people kill me. And it's just aggravating because we finally get a point guard that plays defense. How long have we waited for a point guard that played defense since Clyde Frazier?
Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Isaiah, man, I appreciate the call, bro. I'm going to move on. I know we got a couple other people that want to call in.
Oh, nah, definitely.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, come home from the gym. Stay healthy, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Stay healthy.
Hey,
for sure.
Man, that's health. Definitely, man.
Definitely, man. All right, bro.
Have a good one.
Peace. Yeah, for sure, man. We got to have some patience, man. We want guys to be stars right off the bat. You know, impatient. We're an impatient group of fans. You know what I'm saying? When you look at this here. This is Kawhi Leonard. Right? Let me move this out of the way for a second, people. There we go. So you look, this is Kawhi Leonard right here. Rookie year, 24 minutes a game, 7 points. Shot 49% from the field. So you knew at some point maybe he could be a scorer, or he could at least score at a high percentage, good efficiency. Right? 7.9 points, 5 rebounds. In 24 minutes. He was the 15th pick of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's the kind of player, he's the kind of player, that's his position. That's what he's supposed to do. Score. So of course he's getting up more shots than point guard. You know. Be patient, folks. We gotta be patient, man. Now that's what we have to do. It's not all going to happen at one time. Michael, what's popping, bro?
I'm good, man. What's up, man? Long time. I haven't been on in a while,
it's been
man.
a minute.
Yeah,
I see you on Facebook, though. I see you on Facebook, man, knocking off some music, man. Sound pretty good.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I've been working. That's what I've been up to. That's what I've been working hard on that, man.
That's what's up, man. Keep working. Keep going.
Yeah, man. I watched the game tonight. I don't like Frank at the 2.
Me neither.
I like him. Moutier need to come off the bench. Like he had one or two good games, and like everybody jumped on it. Yeah, he's better than Frank. He's better than Frank. No, he is not.
Right.
Like I'm watching it, and I'm reading these people: Wayne Peoples, Lily Phillips, Troy Fleck, or whatever his name is. Yeah, I don't know what they be watching.
Yo, I mean, Frank has a natural ability, man. If you know basketball, you know what you know what you're looking at. Frank has the natural ability.
Yeah, shout out to Marty. I just want to say welcome back. Shout out to Marty, through the corn.
Frank has the natural ability to be a point guard.
Oh, he does. He does.
Natural ability, the natural instinct.
Oh yeah, I was watching tonight, and like we were down. And I don't know if it was just me or if it was coincidence that whenever they put Frank back on the court, we started chipping away at the lead again until it got out of hand at the end where there's nothing we could do about it anymore.
Right.
But like Moutier and Frank, I'm looking at how they play, their similarities versus their Frank's shot is just not falling because he hasn't been around long enough to develop that confidence to hit that shot consistently. Moutier's shot is just broken.
Yeah, right. Right. Moutier needs a lot of work with his shot.
Oh my God!
His feet is never set right. He doesn't have much
scissor
touch.
Kick every time he shoots.
Exactly. Right. Every time he shoots.
Every time he shoots, he does like this scissor kick nonsense. Yeah, I don't get it. Right. Frank's shot his form is beautiful. It just doesn't go in yet. Exactly. It goes in from time to time.
Yep.
And New York, what I realize about us as New York fans, well, for the most part, we love a bandwagon, boy. We love a bandwagon. Right. Jesus Christ. They're like, oh, this guy had 20 points tonight. He's the second coming. He's the best thing in the world. Like, he's the best player in the league. And then 2 games later, when this guy has 7 points, you can talk all the nonsense you want about Frank, and Frank, he consistently give you 5 points at least. He's not gonna give he's not gonna give you 20, then come and give you 3. You know? He gonna give you 5.
Can depend on him for something.
He's consistent. He consistently give you 5 points. He shot 2 for 7 for like the past 4 games. So you know he's gonna give you 2 for 7 right now. We can go with that. At least we know that's what we get from him.
Right.
But we got these dudes out here that Trey Burke had 25, and Trey Burke is Allen Iverson. He's Allen Iverson. He looks the same way. No, he's not.
Right.
There's a reason why he ended up in the G League and came and had to go fix his mind and come back. Mm-hmm. Same thing for Timmy. Had to go get his mind right and come back. Now y'all want Frank to go down to the G League. The thing is, these dudes are scorers. So them going to the D League and scoring 48 points a game, that is nothing.
Right.
But Frank is going to go down there and probably give you 15 because he's not going to go down there to shoot the ball and take 100 shots a game.
Right. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if Frank is going to go down there and give you 15. He might give you 10 because it's just like that's not what he does, man. Even when he played in the rookie game, he played the same style. He played the same way.
And that's the thing. Like, people, I don't get it. The dude is a pure point guard. Exactly. That's what he is. That is his game. He is a pure point guard. He's not going to go out there and try to put up 30. And this is what happened. You know what happened? Basketball fans got spoiled by Steph Curry and them type of dudes who are shooting from 40 yards out, and they think that's real basketball. 5 years ago, you took that shot, you're done playing for the night.
Right.
10 years ago, you took a shot like that, you're done for the night. No more basketball for you. It's over. There's no more basketball for you. Who do you think you are shooting from 40, And this is the thing. They brought Frank in for exactly what he is. He's a dish and defense. Dish and D. That's what he do. He come out there trying to get you involved. And he came here to be a starter in a triangle offense because he was going to play the same. I forgot that dude's name that played for the Bulls. Oh my God, their point guard, Harper.
Harper,
Ron
Derek,
Harper, something like that,
Ron
yeah.
Harper. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how he played. That's how Derek Fisher played with the Lakers.
Yep.
He was not there to put up 30 points a night. He was there to pass the ball and get people in their spots. That's
Yep.
what Frank does. If he can't get you in your spot, hand it off, go around to the corner, come back around and get the same ball back and set you up in your spot.
Exactly.
And that's what it's come to. And
Right.
we have scoring in our starting lineup. Timmy can score, KP could score, Cantor could score, Courtney Lee could hit the shot. Why do people want Frank to go in there and still put up 30? No, his job is to get it to the scorers and play defense to stop you from scoring on him. I read something earlier where somebody said that Frank gets burnt every time. Now that is a flat out lie. You just come on the damn chat or whatever you want to call it. Just to
troll,
that
man.
people that got nothing to do. I have nothing to do, so I'm gonna go and spend an hour and a half on Simeon's thing and troll because I have nothing to do tonight. I have no girls calling me. I have nothing like that. So I'm gonna just come and troll. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Like, Frank gets burnt. I watched Frank lock down Kyrie. I watched Frank lock down Kemba Walker. The other night, Kyrie called and he dropped him, and oh my God, Kyrie just killed Frank. Okay, Frank is a rookie who can play defense.
Right.
Great. Kyrie drops everyone. But you drop the rookie, and all of a sudden, and somebody like posted on the thing, oh, but we got Frank for defense. Okay. The best people get their ankles broken. The best shot blockers get dunked on.
That's right. If you play defense,
these things don't happen to you unless you're playing defense.
Exactly. If you playing defense, that happens to you. If you actually play defense.
You know why you never see Melo get dropped? Because he don't play D. You ever saw Harden get his ankles broke? No, because he don't play D.
Right.
That's what this is what it comes down to. I don't understand what these people be watching, man. And I got my little zen going on, so I ain't gonna who's market out and lose my mind. But at the same time, it gets annoying watching these dudes hate on a 19-year-old. On a 19-year-old. When I was 19, I don't even remember what I was doing when I'm 19.
Yeah, man.
This kid is in the NBA at 19 years old. Right. Every single mock draft had him going top 10.
Exactly.
And
he deserves to be in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? People keep saying G League this, G League that.
Exactly. And this is my thing. I'm looking at, like, when they talk about, but Kyrie had 32. Okay, Kyrie had 32. Kyrie took 32 shots.
Yeah, probably. Right.
That's what it comes down to. You have somebody that's playing defense on you so hard that it takes you 20 shots to get 20 points. He did his job.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just looking forward to the future of this team when it comes to the draft. I really like Miles Bridges because he's big. He's huge. And we probably going to be picking at number 7 or 8 again, more than likely.
Yeah, somewhere around there, 7, 8, 9.
Really take it out and other teams win, we're going to be picking like number 7 or 8, number 9. And I'll take Miles Bridges because he's like 6'9", like he's big. He can shoot. He's athletic. And he plays defense. So the fact that we have a rim protector, a wing protector, and a perimeter defender, I mean, what we're doing is we're rebuilding, and this is what New York fans don't understand. We are a rebuilding team.
Right.
There's some nights we're going to look competitive, and then some nights we're going to get murdered. But what I like is that we're not. Aside from the veterans, the young guys are not hanging their heads when they're down 30. They're still running the possessions. They're still trying to get a stop. We got the older guys, the Beasley, the Jack, the Courtney Lee, the Hardaway. You could put him in there. When we're getting killed, they're hanging their heads like, well, damn, come on, man. You're down, oh, my God. We just want to, Jesus Christ, we losing.
Right.
That's the wrong mentality. Hardaway's a brat. Trey Burke got a little brattiness in him.
Yeah, he got some brattiness in him for sure. Both of them.
Our one fighter is Cantor, man.
Yeah.
That's that dude fights.
Cantor's our best player right now.
Hands down.
He's our best player right now.
If Timmy was more consistent, it would go to him. But Cantor gives the same thing every night.
Every
He's
night.
going to hustle. He's going to try to get buckets. He's defense away from being an elite big man.
Yep.
And
he's only 25 years old, so he still can develop. And you know, Cantor hasn't. I'm gonna let you go after this, Michael, because I know I got some other people. But
same to you, Wayne. Same to you, Wayne. I come here and talk sense. You come here to troll. Same to you, though. Good type. I saw that. I ain't scared. But anyway, go ahead.
But you know, Cantor's only been playing for. I mean, he's been playing for, you know, in the NBA 5-7 years or whatever. But you know, out of high school, he didn't play much because you know he didn't go to college. You know, he had that whole issue where he was ineligible to play in college. So he got drafted. He basically got drafted off of talent alone without coaching. So he still needs some coaching. You know what I'm saying? You know, his age is 25, but he's probably like, you know, 22 years old basketball wise.
That's a fact, because I mean, I honestly think Hornacek is gone.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that we can't trade Noah, I think Noah stays because he's not going to take a buyout unless it's like the middle of the season next year where he can, you know, he could lose a little bit of money. But I think Noah's staying. I think Hornacek is gone, and they're going to reincorporate Noah. And Noah could really work with Cannon when it comes to defense, especially if Cannon's sticking around.
Yeah.
You know, but that was Noah's calling card. Noah was that dude that you can switch out on anybody in defense, and it's fire.
Yeah. And you know, we'll see if we get a new coach. You know, they might find some use for Noah somewhere, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, I'm gonna let you go, man. I appreciate the call.
Bro. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I see, you know, a couple of people got called out on.
No, they have to get it. There's something, you know what it is sometimes, especially how I grew up. I had it hard growing up, and we never like settled for that. You know, we never let people just come at our heads. I mean, we come back for you, and if you don't like it, that's up to you. You know what to find. You know? But I don't go for that. But shout out to my French unicorn, my boy Troy Flett, for talking all that smack. Way people's you too. Have a great night. It's been real.
All right, bro. Peace out, man.
All right, man. Be good, yo. Shout out.
Yeah. We gotta be patient, Knicks fan. Let's be patient. You know what I'm saying? Let's be very patient with this guy. Because, you know, I think Lily asked me earlier. I seen it. I didn't get a chance to respond to it. You asked, why do I think Frank is gonna be good? I'm gonna tell you why. He has a lot of basketball instincts that, you know, some people may not recognize those basketball instincts, but he's got a lot of basketball instincts. You know, I watch him play, and he's the kind of player that is making the pass that is going to lead to the next pass that completes the play because he can see it happening. I seen it early in the season. I remember the first time that I seen it, he was on a break. He passed it across court to Tim Hardaway, I believe it was, knowing that Tim Hardaway, or believing that Tim Hardaway would make the right pass, I think, to Courtney Lee. Or maybe it was Courtney Lee to Hardaway. One of the two. Whoever it was made the right pass for an easy layup. But Frank made the play happen because he had the initial pass that led to the right play. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see from him. And not a lot of players have it. Not a lot of players have it. You know what I'm saying? And that is so important when it comes to being a point guard. And his want, and he wants to get other people involved. He is truly selfless. You know, you hear him. He's not worried or complaining or mad if he doesn't get minutes or upset that he didn't score these points or that points or trying to force himself. Listen, Frank could come out and shoot 15 shots. Right? And if he made 30% of those shots, he might score 10, 12, 13 points. And we'd all be like, oh, man, well, This guy, he's scoring 13 points a game, so he's got a future. He's ready to do something. No, he doesn't do that. That's not his style. That's not what he does. The defense, Lily. It's not many rookies that can come in with the kind of defense that he has coming as a rookie. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it's unheard of, but if you're going to start with a player, you rather start with them having the ability to play defense and then work on their offense. Because like Clyde said tonight, you be around for a while and you work enough, the offense is going to come. You'll be able to score. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that he can play defense, that means a whole lot. And then you can see him on the floor. He knows where to go. He knows where to be. He knows how to make the right play. He can actually get to where he wants to on the floor. He does it all the time. You know what I'm saying? He gets to great spots on the floor. He just doesn't shoot it. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't shoot it. But he gets to those spots. There's been times when I've seen him actually hit the hole hard, but then he's looking to pass instead of going up with it. So yes, Jamal, he needs to work on his aggressiveness. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively going to the basket and then learn how to work with the two, when to distribute or when to go to the basket. He definitely needs to work on that. But Lily, that's what I see in him, because there's a lot of point guards that don't have that. Trey Burke, for example, in my opinion, he doesn't have that ability to see a play ahead, 2 plays ahead. I think Frank does. You know what I'm saying? For me, Trey Burke is just kind of, I'm going to put my head down and go. Coming up the floor, if I see a hole, I'm taking it. If that's the way he plays, that's cool. That's the way he plays. I'm not knocking Trey Burke for that. That's his style of basketball. But it takes a true point guard to be able to see things happen a few plays ahead and understand the game in that fashion. You know what I'm saying? That is what I see in Frank. That's what I see. And he has some big shot ability. We've seen him make some big shots in big games. As a matter of fact, as much as we complain that Frank isn't aggressive, when we get into close games in the fourth quarter, Frank is way more aggressive. He has the heart to take some big shots. There was one time when I thought he wavered from taking a shot against Cleveland. One time. Other than that, he takes big shots and he's not afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him do it. That's a point guard. That's what a point guard does. Right? The whole game, I'm going to get everybody else involved. But now when it comes down to it, and I need to score, or I need to hit a big shot, I'm going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that I see. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to take the big shot. And he helped us win a couple of games because he wasn't afraid to take the big shot. So, we'll see. My man right here says, y'all Frank supporters are the same people who told me Landry Fields was his future star. I don't know who you was talking to. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe this group was together back then. I don't know. I never said Landry Fields was going to be a good star. But the same people that I see on here that are hating on Frank for being a defensive point guard and one who wants to distribute are most likely the same people that were getting mad because Derrick Rose was a me first point guard and said we need a point guard that's looking to distribute. All last year, everybody complained about Derrick Rose. He didn't play defense. All he does is drive to the basket. Right? Now we get a young point guard that needs to develop, that wants to get people involved, wants to play defense, and we complain about that. We're conflicted, man. We're a conflicted group. That's all I heard last year. And I was one of them. I complained about it. I didn't like the way Derrick Rose played the game. You know what I'm saying? I thought that what Derrick Rose did was fruitless. All he did is drive to the basket and dish it off. You know what I'm saying? Nothing serious, nothing good. You know? Got to be patient. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Rookie year, 6.8 points, 4.4 rebounds in 24.6 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Let's be patient. See what these guys do. Be patient. You know, and there's more guys like that all across the league. All across the league. Everybody knows it. We all seen it. We've all seen it. Somebody brought up Jimmy Butler. Let's pull Jimmy Butler over here. Jimmy Butler, drafted in 2011. First year, 8 minutes a game, 2.6 points per game. 18% from three. 40% from the field. Second year, played 26 minutes. 8.6 points per game. 46.7% from the field. He got better. 38% from three. He got better. Got to give these guys time to grow. Give that man time to grow. You said, don't pull up Frank's stats. We all know what Frank's stats are. I mean, it's cool. I'm pulling up guys that if their teams would have got rid of them because they didn't come in the league and score 20 a game, they would have lost out on a star. That's what I'm bringing up. That's what I'm showing you. That's what I'm showing you. Let's move on to defense, since Frank is a defensive point guard. Because I'm having some problems with this switching D. You know, I heard Jeff Hornacek complain a little bit about, you know, how the guys switch too much and they were going to try to play a little bit more straight up defense. But I'm starting to think it's not the guys. And it's Jeff Hornacek's schemes. I feel like those are his schemes. His schemes are to switch. Or somebody's schemes are to switch. Because the Knicks switch on everything when they do not need to switch. You know what I'm saying? I seen Frank and Lance Thomas switch for no reason at all. Neither one of their guys even had the ball. You know what I'm saying? You know, we've talked about it for so long. Why do they keep switching? But I just wanted to bring it up and harp on it some more, because in the third quarter, I seen Timmy and Frank. They didn't get into an argument, but one of their guys got wide open from three because they weren't sure who was supposed to go out on them because they switched. You know, that's got to change. It has to change. It's terrible defense. Not that switching is terrible. Sometimes it's okay to switch. Right? There's times when it calls for it, but you can't switch on every possession. It's just lazy. And then it causes confusion because then you don't know who's going to go where. And then we got, all the time we got Cantor being switched off on guards and all kinds of stuff because teams know that all we're going to do is switch. So they quickly run to a pick and roll so we can switch. And then isolate on whoever has the best mismatch. And it's been like this for years. Now, that leads me to ask this, right? Even with Woody, is it because we haven't gone out and got defensive players that can play one-on-one defense? And so to mask our defensive deficiencies, coaches decide to switch? Is that the problem? That very well could be. If you don't have guys that can actually play one-on-one defense, then you've got to come up with some kind of schemes, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's what the problem is. We don't have guys that are just geared and wired to be defensive players, so the coaches switch to try to make defense a little bit easier. Or is it just coaching scheme? I don't know. I mean, with Jeff Hornacek right now, I'm starting to believe it's coaching scheme because they do it on every single defensive possession. Ace, big shout out for the super chat, bro. I appreciate it. So you want to give a shout out to the chat. The Knicks defense is the same for 2 straight seasons. We give up the corner threes too much. We do. You're right. We give up those corner threes a hell of a lot. Wide open corner threes. But we also switch a lot. We also switch a lot. Too much. Too much for my blood. And I'm going to say one thing about Cantor. He gets caught out a lot on the perimeter. And he does a decent job. He gets beat sometimes, but he still does a decent job. For a flat-footed, slow-footed big man that doesn't have much athletic ability, he does a decent job when he's left out on the island with a smaller guard or someone like KD. And Marty, I seen you say something earlier. You said that Cantor would never be a good defensive center. He'll never be a shot blocker. I'm going to say that. But I think he could be a good defensive center. Although he's not athletic and he doesn't have fast feet, defense, if you know how to play the angles correctly, you can play good defense, even if you're not fast. You know what I'm saying? If you just know the right position to take on the opposing player, you know where to place your feet, how to place your feet, how to drive them to their weekend or force them into a spot where they're uncomfortable, or better yet, you deny them from ever touching the basketball on as many possessions as you can. That way you don't have to be exposed. Listen, I'm 42 years old. When I play against young point guards, I try not to ever let them touch the ball. I deny them up and down the floor so they can't touch the ball, so that I can't get exposed with my slow feet now. You know what I'm saying? That's, and then I'm able to do it because I'm a little bit smarter than them. Or when they do get the ball, I study them. I watch everything that they do. I watch their footwork. You know what I'm saying? I watch things that get them frustrated. I watch their facial expressions. So that when I get out there and I play defense on them, I know if I do certain things, they might get frustrated. If I force them to go a certain way or force them to a certain spot on the floor, they can't hit from that spot. Those type of things. And, and then I take the right positions defensively. That, if he can learn how to do those type of things, he could be a good defender. That's what people who are slow, that's what they got to do. They've got to learn how to play the angles. Play the angles, bump with their body, force people into awkward positions, things like that. The same type of, and the same way he uses angles to get rebounds. Think about it. A lot of people equate rebounding to guys who can jump high. Some of your best rebounders are guys who can't jump at all, or they can jump but they can't jump high. Why? Because they know how to get in the right position to rebound. They box out. They watch the ball. They see where the ball is going, and they get to that spot before everyone else because they can see where that ball is going, right? They understand if it's coming off to the left, if it's coming off to the right, and they get in the right position. You know what I'm saying? If he can do that on the defensive end, why can't he apply that, or someone teach him how to apply that? If he can do that rebounding, that's what I meant to say. If he can do that to grab rebounds, then why can't he be taught to apply those same skills to do that on the defensive end? How to use angles, how to, like I see Cantor a lot when off the pick and roll. I mean, he jumps right out and defends the guard and turns his back totally to his man. Someone needs to teach him kind of how to jab towards the guard a little bit until the other guard can recover and then get back to his man. Some of those type of things, which he can learn. He can learn how to take the correct positions. And I think he can learn how to be a defensive player, even though he's not real athletic, doesn't have fast feet. It'll take a lot of training. Take a lot of training, take a lot of work. It'll take him, he's going to have to be smart. He's going to have to be able to recognize plays before they happen so that he can be in the right position, right? So that he rotates to the right spot before it even happens. You know what I'm saying? He rotates to the right spot before it happens and he's already there. That's what Frank does a lot. That's why Frank is such a great defender. He's so intelligent. He rotates to the spot before it's there. I've seen him, I think it was against Sacramento. Whoever he was guarding cut through the lane. He followed him. Right? And then the big man caught the ball in the lane. Frank, because he's seen the guy rising up in the air to shoot, he knew automatically, I can jump off my guy and go help double team in the lane. Because he knew his guy wasn't in the position to be able to catch the ball or to be passed to. You know what I'm saying? He's able to see those type of things and react to them. That's something that Cantor's going to have to learn to do. He's going to have to learn how to see where the defensive rotations will be early so that he can make those rotations. And I think he could be a good defender. It's going to take some work, though. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some work. But whoever we get, I hope that Scott Perry will talk to whoever we get as our next coach and ask them in the interview process, what is your philosophy on defense? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to switch or do you want to teach these guys how to play straight up? Because I'm tired of seeing all the switching. I want the guys to play. Play defense, play your man, take some pride in stopping your man. Like nowadays, we see guys score and you want to turn around and tell them good shot. You're playing pickup ball, okay. I get it. But not when you're playing in the league. You should take it personal that your man scored on you. You should be upset that your man just dropped the bucket. If I was Wesley Johnson and Harden crossed me up like that, next possession, I'm probably going to foul him. I'm grabbing his shorts. I'm doing whatever. Because he's not doing that again. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that again. I mean, you got to take some pride. Got to take some pride. Marty, you said Cantor is not worth $20 million. I mean, right now he's our best player. He's going to get paid $18 million next year, and then we'll see what the market. We'll see what the market is demands from him the following year. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what it's worth. The Prince bun, you said that's 90s ball. I mean, yeah, that is 90s ball. You're right. That's 90s basketball. You know, and, you know, listen, I teach my players today. I teach them the same thing. And so I teach my players, you know, we play defense with our feet. You know, we work on really moving our feet. We work on how, you know, we get up tight into the player. We grab jerseys. We lock arms. Teach them how to do those type of things. You know, because that's what good defensive players do. Believe it or not, that's what they do. They find a way to tie you up, lock you up, grab your jersey, get under your skin, make you mad, make you push them because you're getting frustrated with that person. You know, we need some players that know how to do that want to do it, that enjoy doing it. You know, that's the way I grew up playing ball. Of course, always like offense. You know what I'm saying? But defense got to be the calling card, always. Defense got to be that calling card. Even the Warriors play great defense, man. Even the Warriors play great defense. You know, they're a great offense, but they also play great defense. So hopefully Scott Perry will pull in somebody that really wants to focus on defense. Somebody that doesn't want to switch all the time. Somebody that'll teach these guys how to really get up in somebody and play nasty, rugged, hard-nosed, intense, and aggressive defense. You know what I'm saying? Because if you play that way, teams are going to fear you just a little bit. Just a little bit, they're going to fear you. Because they don't want to deal with that kind of suffocating defense. It's tough. Especially if we could get one of those teams today, in today's NBA, if we can get one of those teams like that, so many of these scoring teams are going to be frustrated because they're not going to be used to it. Today, it's a very hands-off league. You know, but if you get some guys that are just rough and tough and in your face, athletes do not like to be physical, right? Athletes want to be able to jump, run, fly through the air. That's what they want to do. And if you get somebody that's holding them down for that, they get frustrated. You know, and you know, you gotta have a team that can play defense that way, because in the playoffs, they let that kind of defense go. In the regular season, you know, they may be loosey-goosey with the calls, you know what I'm saying? Calling, whatever. But in the playoffs, they let some of that go. I'm saying the playoffs, they let you hold a little bit, grab a little bit, scratch a little bit. And if you one of them Fugazi type dudes, then you don't like it. And it'll take you out your game real quick. You know what I'm saying? We need no Fugazi characters on the Knicks. You know, so we gotta strengthen up, we gotta tighten up, bring in one of them coaches that's gonna lay that foundation. Lay that foundation that's gonna play tough defense. Lay the foundation that's gonna teach us how to play tough defense. You know, so there we go. All right. Let's talk about this New York Knicks and Milwaukee Bucks before I get out of here. Now, it's going to be a quick talk. Not too much to talk about. You know, I'm sure we know what the outcome is going to be. But I'm tired of losing. I'd like to see us get a nice little win, especially if we're playing the young guys. You know, I'd like to see us do something positive out there. You know, talking about players that started their careers off slow. We're playing against Giannis. And we all know Giannis now is a monster. He's a beast. And, you know, we're going to have to deal with him. When is the game? Friday night. But I want to see the young guys play again. I don't know what's up with Courtney Lee, but they got a little bit of time to practice because we got some days off. We don't play again until Friday, so I want to see those young guys play again. I want to see Frank get 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Give him 30, 35 minutes. You know, people say, "Oh, some people he's 19 years old, can he even play that?" Well, you know what? He can. We got 18, 19 games left. He can handle it. He'll be all right. Sure, he'll be fine. I'm saying, let that man play 35 minutes. Of course, I want to see more Troy Williams. I want to see Cornet play. I want him to play some. Get out there. You know, we've seen him that one game. He played well. Then he didn't play well. Now he's just been banished. Banished. You know, I want to see him get out there a little bit more because I still think he can help us. He might be a little slow-footed, but, you know, he does get his hands up, can block shots, can hit that three. And we need somebody to help spread that floor. A big man that can pull another big out the paint so that we can penetrate and try to get some open looks. Hardaway's doing a good job penetrating to the basket and getting some looks, but we need some other players to be able to do it as well. And if you can have a big man that other big man got to respect, pull that center out, then, you know, we might be able to open up the lane to get some drives a little bit. You know, so, you know, I'll see him play a little bit more. Cornet. See Cornet play a little bit more. You can send Isaiah Hicks back. You know, he's one of our two-way guys. So he's got that contract, but I'm not impressed. I'd like to see somebody else play. But, guys, I'm about to head out. We had a lot of conversations about Frank tonight. Heated conversations. That's cool. I love it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Frank Hater's going to keep coming back. I know we get a lot of trolls. You know what I'm saying? A lot of trolls that come in and it's the first thing they do, their first message on the chat, Frank sucks or whatever. You know, let them troll. You know, if that's the only joy that they get in their life, let them troll. I don't know. I hope that's not the truth, but if that's the truth, let them troll. You know what I mean? Let them troll. But I'm out, guys. I'm going to talk to y'all, everybody. I want to talk to everybody again, even the trolls. Come on back and troll. I enjoy it. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? But come on back Friday night. I think the game Friday night starts at 8. So I'll be on about a half hour after the game. All right. Take it easy. Be careful. Snow's coming. Be careful in the snow. You know what I'm saying? Peace, y'all. If you like this video, subscribe below. Ring the bell. You'll get a message every time that I go live. Notification every time I go live. Check out these videos over here. Stay updated on the New York Knicks. Peace.